The first time I saw Linda Hart in handcuffs, it was under those harsh, humming fluorescent lights in the city council chamber. Yeah, with a news camera right up in her face like it could smell fresh scandal. She was screaming my name like I'd stolen her life out from under her, not just her little kingdom. But honestly, the whole circus kicked off with something as boring as a mailbox. Mine. Just a regular black paint-chipped mailbox. I moved to Cedar Hollow because all I wanted was peace in a backyard with a bit of green, not a starring role in neighborhood theater, especially not the HOA kind. No way. I was so paranoid about it, I read my deed paperwork like it was a bomb manual. Triple-checked the lines. No homeowners association within shouting distance. Or so I thought. First morning, I'm shuffling around in pajama pants, mug of coffee in hand. Cardboard boxes still stacked everywhere when I hear this weird metallic rattle outside. Not a bird, not the wind, something deliberate. I open the door and there she is. Woman in a crisp blazer, white sneakers crouched at my mailbox, tagging it with a streak of orange spray paint like she's Banksy for suburban sadists. She doesn't even flinch. She stands up cool as a cucumber with this smug little smile that says you've already lost. HOA enforcement, she announces, wrapping the spray can against her palm. That mailbox color's not approved. I blink at her. My house isn't even in the HOA. Her smile just stretches wider like she's heard the best joke in the world. Sure it is, she says, flipping a folder out of her tote bag like a stage magician. And you're already out of compliance. She slaps this stack of papers on my porch. Top page giant bold letters. Immediate notice of removal. No court seal, no city logo, just some junky template and a signature that looks like someone signed it in a moving car. This is fake, I say, but Linda leans in close, voice syrupy sweet. It doesn't have to be real to ruin your week, she whispers. You have 24 hours to fix your violations or you can leave. She's already strutting away before I think of what to say next. I just stand there wondering what kind of person actually talks to strangers like that before breakfast. Instead of chasing her, I snap pictures of the paint, the paperwork, and even a little video of her leaving just in case. Then I finally install the doorbell camera I'd been putting off and start a folder on my laptop called Heart_Case because, hey, if she's petty, I can be too. That afternoon, I'm at the hardware store grabbing primer hand stained orange, and the cashier, Mike Turner, nice guy, always wears a name tag, crooked just sighs. Let me guess. He mutters, Linda, I don't even ask how he knows. I just nod. He drops his voice like the walls have ears. She's the HOA president over Willow Creek. Acts like she's mayor. If she thinks you're a problem, she'll create a problem. I try to laugh, but it comes out wrong, half snort, half groan. My house isn't even in her HOA. Mike gives me that look, the one you give someone who doesn't realize the tornado's already overhead. Yeah, he says, that's exactly why she's mad. Next morning, a city truck parks right in front of my driveway. I peek through the blinds, heart in my throat, and sure enough, Linda pops out behind a guy in a blue city jacket. The officer, Daniel Ramirez, polite professional clipboard at the ready, starts listing complaints like he's reading a grocery list. Unapproved exterior fixtures, commercial vehicle parking, improper storage, possible nuisance. I point to my old pickup, to my stack of moving boxes. That's not commercial, and those are just boxes. Linda interrupts, syrupy sweet. The neighborhood has standards. We've worked hard to keep property values up. Officer Ramirez does a lap around the house, jotting notes. When Linda isn't looking, he leans in and whispers, if you're not under the HOA, you can dispute anything they're claiming. He's trying to help. I can see that. But Linda hears the word dispute like he just cursed her family name. He's lying, she snaps. He knows he's under HOA jurisdiction. I look her dead in the eye, voice steady. Show me the real boundary map, I say. The legal one. She doesn't hand over anything, just points at me like I'm a cockroach. You moved into our community. You're going to follow our rules. That's when it hits me. This isn't about rules, it's about control. Over the next week, my life turns into a slapstick parade of concerns. Another inspection, another notice. My trash bin's visible for 2 hours, citation. Grass a 1/4 inch too high, citation. Emails from HOA compliance, even though I never signed up for anything, land in my inbox like little grenades. One night there's a final warning taped to my door in thick black marker. Move or else. I just stand there on the porch, keys dangling in my hand, furious, but mostly just bone-tired. Not the kind of mad that makes you punch a wall, the kind that makes you want to disappear. By day 10, I'm not scared of Linda. I'm scared of the system she's riding. If she keeps calling the city keeps coming. If they keep coming, my job hears about it. If my job hears about it, well, it all piles up. One night at 2 a.m., I'm at the kitchen table, head in my hands, paperwork spread everywhere, thinking I could just sell, cut my losses, let her have this patch of grass. But then I look out at my own yard, my own porch, the stupid orange stain on my mailbox, and something snaps. If I leave, she wins. If she's won against me, she's probably won against others. Not today. The twist, though, Linda never accounted for cameras that don't blink. Couple days later, my sprinklers quit. Grass starts dying in a perfect brown patch. I call a repair guy. He says the valve didn't just fail, someone forced it. That night, I pull up footage from my new infrared camera pointed at the side yard. And there's Linda, 2:11 a.m., hood up, crouched by the pipes. She yanks, something twists it, breaks it, then turns toward the house and says, "Clear as a bell. Let's see how long you last." I play it 3 times to be sure I'm not dreaming. Then I save copies. Everywhere. I don't march up to her. I send the footage to the 4 HOA board members to her real estate office because, yeah, standards are fun until you have to live up to them yourself, and to a local reporter. Just one sentence. This is the president of the Willow Creek HOA trespassing and vandalizing property outside her jurisdiction. Linda's response is instant and nuclear. She shows up on my property line just close enough to be legal, yelling so loud the neighbors peek through their windows. You think you can blackmail me? I built this neighborhood. I decide who belongs. I step outside, phone rolling, voice steady, even though my hands are shaking. Not on my land, I say. Back up. She laughs, sharp and ugly. You have no idea who my husband is, she hisses. Mark Hart sits on city council. You're done. That's when I realize this isn't just HOA muscle, it's a straight shot to city power. So I call in backup. My friend Alex, who works in land records, isn't dramatic. He just drops a folder on my table and taps a line with his finger. Your lot is excluded. Always has been. Then he flips to an old HOA memo never meant to see daylight outlining pressure strategies for non-member properties. Corporate speak for dirty tricks. And then Claire Bennett steps in. She's a lawyer, and as luck would have it, she's also related to the previous owner of my house. She reads the fake notices, the inspection trail, the video, the memo. This is coercion, she says, eyes lit up. If a public official is involved, we take it public. She files complaints, requests, records, builds a timeline so tight it's like a mousetrap. All while I keep collecting receipts, every letter, every fake complaint, every time Linda tiptoes onto my yard by accident. A week later, city council night rolls around. Mark Hart is scheduled to pitch his Neighborhood Standards Initiative code for giving the HOA more teeth. The room is jammed. Linda's there front row, chin high, acting like she's royalty. Mark steps up to the mic, starting his big speech about concerns regarding properties when Claire stands up cool as ice. Before you continue, she says, we need to address the misuse of city resources and the attempted enforcement of HOA rules on non-member property. Whole room shifts. Claire plugs in a flash drive. Map comes up my lot, clear as day outside Willow Creek boundaries. Then a picture of the bogus notice. Then the video. Linda in night vision breaking my sprinklers. Her voice fills the room. Let's see how long you last. There's not a gasp, no, it's this low guttural sound. That sound people make when the truth finally kicks down the door. Linda jumps up yelling, "That's edited. That's not real." Claire doesn't even blink. She plays another audio clip, Linda, in daylight at my fence. Mark Hart sits on city council. You're done. You could see Mark's face go pale. First time all night he's not acting. Then from the front row, Detective Rachel Hayes stands up, badge glinting. Linda Hart, she says calm and loud, you're under investigation for trespass, vandalism, falsifying notices, and coordinating fraudulent complaints. Mark Hart will be requesting your communications with code enforcement. Linda opens her mouth like she wants to unleash another speech, but nothing comes out. She's too mad, too caught. She points at me, at Claire, at the detective, like we're the problem. I'm the reason this neighborhood is worth anything, she shrieks. And that's when I stand up, voice steady for the first time in weeks. My house isn't in your HOA, I say. So you tried to force it with fake paperwork and real damage. Linda spins on me, hate in her eyes. You don't belong here, she spits. Detective Hayes just clicks the cuffs. The sound echoes in the room. Turn around. Linda's still yelling, but it's all coming apart now. Her power, her certainty. Mark Hart doesn't move. He just sits, stunned, as the cameras zoom in. And as they walk Linda out, she looks back at me one last time, trying to scorch me with that stare, but there's nothing left. Just a person who finally ran out of people to blame. You know, I used to think standing your ground was something people said to sound brave. But the truth is, sometimes you only find your backbone when you're the last person in your own corner. If someone tries to run your life with a clipboard, make them explain themselves under the lights. Because the thing about power is it only lasts as long as we let it. Funny thing is, after all that, I finally painted my mailbox any color I wanted. No orange in sight. So here's my question. Where's the line? How much power is too much for one person, one group, one community leader to have over your life? And what would you do if justice was on the other side of a fence? Drop your story in the comments. Tell me where you stand. Right or wrong justice. Or just getting even. Let's see who's got the best story to top this one.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video. Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.